I'll call to order the 41st regular meeting of the Jackson County Legislature on Monday, October 15th. It's 2:30 and we're in the downtown Legislative Assembly areas. Mr. Grounds, we're in session now, please.
I'm sorry, should I report after class?
Yes, please. Oh, okay. All right. Would you call the roll, please?
Baker.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Jordan.
Present.
Waits. Tallwater.
Here.
Grounds. Galvin.
Here.
Burnett.
Here.
8 present, 1 absent.
Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move for the approval of the journal.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move to excuse Mr. Waits.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to have a presentation for a couple of folks. So Teresa, and Joni, and Paul, would you come up, please? And I would like our county executive, Frank White, to join us as well.
He's trying to tell us something.
So come on up here. So it always irritates me when there's somebody right in my backyard doing good stuff that I don't know about. And I think you've had Giving the Basics. This is Teresa Hamilton, Joni Sheely, and Paul May. This is Frank White. Hey. It irritates me when somebody's doing something right in my backyard, good stuff, and I don't know about it. But you've been doing Giving the Basics for 7 years?
Yeah, we're in our sixth year. Sixth year.
And Frank knew about them
2015.
Yeah, before I did, and when you were on the legislature, I remember discussing them, and so these two are with Giving the Basics. Paul May is the director of housekeeping at the Sheraton and the Westin, which are now owned by the Marriott. And so one thing leads to another. I'm telling Paul about these two. He says, well, do you want 20,000 little bottles of shampoo? So I went and picked them up and took them to them, and they distribute. Why don't you, a couple minutes on what you do?
This will be really fast. We have 4 programs at Giving the Basics. The first program is we provide to 76 local pantries, veteran centers, senior centers, battered women shelters, traditional housing, homeless. And that is our first project. Our second project is we provide hygiene products free of charge to the local school districts. So we are in 231 schools. A child can walk in and say, can I get a deodorant or a toothpaste? These products are not covered by government assistance. That's why Giving the Basics is here. We're Kansas City's hygiene hub. The third program that we have is the police department. We are in all the local police departments. We're in their cars, and they set up at community events, and they give people what they cannot get because they can't buy it when they go to a store. So it's wonderful to see the police interacting with the public. The final one, and one that is very new but very exciting, we are delivering to the homebound seniors incontinence products by size and by type. And we did that because they call, they're emotional, they're crying, they can't get the products, they're rinsing out Depends and hanging them up to dry. So we just said no more. So we partnered with Meals on Wheels. We're now providing that. So in the big scheme of things, Giving the Basics provides the basics to the entire KC metro area. We procure the product, we bring it in, and we have ordering online, and we distribute to all of these local organizations in Kansas City to strengthen it at the core of need. So that's what we do. We are the only one in the nation, and Kansas City can be proud. And Frank did jump on, I want to say. The first time we asked Frank if we could have our picture taken with him because he loved the program, and he didn't do just that. He did a video for us, which was really cool. But we started this in Kansas City, and Kansas City can be proud to be the first one in the nation to have a hygiene hub that supplies the local community with products that they need to succeed. The grades are coming up in school. The kids are moving to the front of the classroom now. They are socializing. That's a wonderful thing. People are able to get jobs and get clean. It's just exciting. That's what we do. So,
Thank you, Teresa. So I'm telling Paul what these people do, and he went down with, he and his assistant Beth and I went down and visited with them, and we said, and Paul said, what's the thing you need the most? And Teresa said, deodorant. And Paul said, I'll have a fun drive at the Sheridan and the Weston. We'll put out barrels. And Paul reported that instead of putting these in the barrels, people were taking them out of the barrels. It wasn't what we had planned. But then Miriam and Angie helped, said, let's do that here. So we had a drive in August. And there's $390.
oh, this is so good. I will tell you, it's like Christmas when we get these things. With our buying power, we can triple any money that we get. So when I see $300, I automatically go 9. Woohoo! So this is going to be great for the people. We go through 44,000 deodorant in the school program a year, just to help you guys know how many we go through. That was last year. This year there'll be more, but this is awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the other thing I'm trying to do, because Paul's real important at the Marriott, is use the Marriott buying power, because you can't get these less than 84 cents, you told me?
Yes, such a darn it.
And, if you go in a store and buy one, I think they're $2.50 or so. So the other thing Paul has done is he's changing out all the mattresses at the Sheridan and the Weston, and we've been giving those to folks. I've been working with the police department a lot and with the other agencies. And he had 165 boxes of towels. So we've distributed those throughout the neighborhood. So he's been a good partner, and we look for doing more in the future. Thank you, Paul. You're welcome. Thanks all of you.
That's the real money in the envelope.
Yeah, there's really money there.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank
You want
you.
to say anything?
No, you got
Okay.
it. You got it.
All right. So if you're interested in the next project, we're going to be collecting candy with the police department for the trunk and trick on October 31st. So if you want to trunk and treat, yeah. If you want to be involved in that, Paul's helping us through the Sheridan. That's our next project. All right. Perfection of proposed ordinances and reports of committee, 5162. Hey, and Paul, you don't have to sit through the rest of the boring meeting. Thank you, guys.
Granting a conditional use permit CUP in District AG Agricultural for a period of 5 years to operate a bed and breakfast inn, subject to specified conditions as to a 20 plus or minus acre tract. Land Use Committee.
Mr. Chair, we're going to have a public hearing on this on October 29th at 2 o'clock in this location. And that goes for 5162, 5163, and 5164.
Okay, 5163 was read at a previous meeting. I'd entertain a motion to waive the reading.
So moved.
Second.
All right, 5164.
Move to waive the reading.
Second.
All right, so now we're at 5158.
Appropriating $87,324 from the undesignated fund balance of the 2018 Park Fund as the proceeds from the sale of surplus vehicles by Purple Wave Auction and from the sale of surplus livestock at the Lally Brothers Livestock Market, Inc. auction. Perfected.
This was perfected at a previous meeting. If without objection, will be placed on the consent agenda for final adoption. Resolutions in committee 19998.
Awarding a 12-month agreement for the operation of an expungement clinic for use by the Prosecuting Attorney's Office to the University of Missouri, Kansas City, UMKC of Kansas City, Missouri, for community outreach efforts at an actual cost of the county not to exceed $40,000 as a sole source purchase. Justice and Law Enforcement Committee.
Committee recommends adoption.
Without objection, this will be placed on the consent agenda for final adoption. Next is 20001.
Authorizing the extension of the Smart Prosecution Initiative grant for use by the Prosecuting Attorney's Office at no cost to the county. Justice and Law Enforcement Committee.
Committee recommends adoption.
This will also be put on the consent agenda for final adoption. 20003.
Move to waive the reading.
Second.
Committee recommends adoption.
Without objection, it will be placed on the consent agenda for final adoption. 20004.
Transferring $1,500 within the 2018 general fund to cover the cost of the county's portion of the Nexel Emergency Communication System to the Circuit Court. Finance and Audit Committee.
Committee recommends adoption.
Without objection, it will be placed on the consent agenda for final adoption. 20006.
Authorizing the county executive to execute an agreement with the Family Court Division of the Circuit Court for the Sheriff's Office to provide deputies to assist with the Family Court's Nightlight Program. Justice and Law Enforcement Committee.
Committee recommends adoption.
Without objection, it will also be placed on the consent agenda for final adoption. 20007.
Transferring $151,000 within the 2018 general fund and authorizing the chair of the legislature to execute a second addendum to the agreement with Williams and Campo PC of Lee Summit, Missouri, to serve as legal advisor to the Jackson County Legislature at an additional cost to the county not to exceed $71,000. And I understand there's a proposed amendment on that one.
Yes, there is a proposed floor amendment that would change the total to $176,000.
Move to substitute for the addendum.
All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, I just noticed that there's it's a correction I can make in pen and ink, but I just want to make sure everybody understands it. On the caption of this, the amendment, it says the last line says not to exceed $71,000. That figure should be $96,000,
Right.
which is the same figure that's in the first paragraph there of the whereas clause. And I'll make sure that the final version has that in it. I just wanted to call that to everyone's attention.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
this is for the attorneys for all of these whirligig things that we have going on.
Would you, Steve or Jay, would you want to elaborate?
Sure. There are attorney's fees owed to each of the attorneys that are working on those cases, and this is a transfer of funds to pay those attorneys the fees that have been owed and what's projected for the rest of the year.
So it's for the suit that we've got, the suit on combat, the suit on the funds, correct?
There are three.
And what's the third one?
The third one is on whether or not the legislature can determine which employees are paid or not.
There's one on the acting directors, right?
It's all part of that's part of one of the others.
All right.
And it's my understanding this is also for the mediator. Is that correct?
Yes, any costs that are related to any of those three cases.
Without objection, this will be placed on the consent agenda for final adoption.
As amended.
As amended. Well, for the consent agenda, we have ordinances 5158, resolutions 19998, ordinance 20001, 2, 1, 3, 4, 20006, 2007.
Move to adopt.
Would you call the roll, please?
Who's the second, Gary?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Waits? Tarwater?
Yes.
Grounds? Galvin?
Yes.
Burnett?
Yes.
That's 8 yes and 1 excused.
Introduction of proposed resolutions and assignment to committee 20008.
Authorizing the county executive to execute a letter of understanding with the Pettis County Commission and the Missouri Department of Transportation related to the transfer of off-system replacement bridge funds in accordance with the Missouri Highway Bridge Program, introduced by Greg Grounds.
No comment. No comment.
Public Works, 20009.
Transferring $50,000 within the 2018 Special Road and Bridge Fund to cover the cost of fuel for use by the Public Works Department, introduced by Greg Grounds.
No comment.
Public Works, 20010.
Transferring $35,000 within the 2018 General Fund, $5,000 within the 2018 Special Road and Bridge Fund, and $5,204 within the 2018 Assessment Fund for the purchase of annual Cisco network maintenance from Alexander Open Systems, AOS, under an existing term and supply contract, introduced by Dennis Waits.
Finance, 20011.
Transferring $2,500 within the 2018 Anti-Drug Sales Tax Fund and authorizing the county executive to execute an agreement with the Midwest Center for Nonprofit Leadership Block School of Management to facilitate the interview process for the combat director at an actual cost to the county not to exceed $2,500, introduced by Dan Tallwater III.
This is my understanding that this is actually happening at the beginning of next week, so I would like to move to adopt.
Second.
Any comment or question? Would you call the roll, please?
Baker?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Waits? Tarwater?
Yes.
Grounds?
Yes.
Galvin?
Yes.
Burnett?
Yes.
8 yes, 1 excused.
20012.
Awarding a 24-month term supply contract with 3 12-month options to extend for the furnishing of park site furniture for use by the Parks Plus Rec Department to Fry and Associates, Inc. of North Kansas City, Missouri, and R.J. Thomas Manufacturing Company, Inc. of Cherokee, Iowa, under the terms and conditions of invitation to bid number 50-18, introduced by Tony Miller.
No comment.
Land use, 20013.
Transferring $41,230 within the 2018 Special Road and Bridge Fund to cover the cost of lining a stormwater culvert for use by the Public Works Department, introduced by Greg Grounds.
No comment.
Public Works, 20014.
Awarding a 24-month term of supply contract with 2 12-month options to extend for the furnishing of professional survey services for use by the Public Works Department to Bartlett and West of of Lee Summit, Missouri, under the terms and conditions of request for qualifications number 42-18, introduced by Greg Grounds.
No comment.
Public Works, I don't believe there's any county executive orders.
There's an add-on.
Oh, there is an add-on, 20015.
Transferring $960 within the 2018 General Fund and authorizing the Director of Finance and Purchasing to issue a check in the amount of $960 to the Hickman Mills School District for sponsorship of the district's debate team, introduced by Alfred Jordan.
No comment.
You want to go ahead and do this?
I mean, we can if we need to.
It really ought to appear on an agenda.
Okay. All right, this will be legislature as a whole. County executive orders, unfinished business, new business. If there is none, our next legislative meeting will be Monday, October the 22nd at 2:30 in the Eastern Jackson County Courthouse.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.